So, if the first coronation of a British monarch in Westminster Abbey was in 1066, then why is there a statue of Dr. Martin Luther King built into the structure of Westminster Abbey? It's because the West Addition was built well after 1066, and it has the saints of the 20th century on it. Above the doorway is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So now you know. The Church of England recognizes Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as a 20th century saint. Alright, so my last video, Kandace, it's got more to the title now because I realized that after I've made a video and it's still in the processing phase, if I click on the edit, it'll let me make it so that the title is 100 characters long instead of just 60. So now I can add people's names to it too. Anyway, there's different Candaces that I've dealt with through this situation. One today is a lady who wanted food for her and her son, and I provided it. I also made sure that I didn't hide it. That's pretty important too. Alright, so what's this video supposed to be about? I'm still pretty riled up from what just happened with Candace. Made me a cigarette. I probably went off a little bit too much about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Made me lose my train of thought. A lot of people expect me to be somebody I'm not. And a lot of people I know expect me to be somebody I used to be, a pushover. I protect for my safety. You never know, and the person that you helped out might be addicted to drugs or alcohol. You never know when the person who offered to help you and wants your money is actually going to help you, or if they're just going to take advantage of you over and over again. The more desperate a situation you're in, the more likely people are to take advantage of you, because the more likely you are to be alone and not have the resources to defend yourself. I never should have been out here. Being an autistic adult is not easy. Being forced into homelessness is not easy. Being a male is not easy. Being in pain, women are more likely to get disability for mental issues like PTSD, whereas men tend to have to be physically disabled to get disability. A lot of people don't like that I speak up about their actions and their choices, about their decisions, or the fact that they blame me for their decisions. No, you made your decision. The decision not to listen before Natalie was killed, the decision not to look before or after Natalie was killed, those are your decisions. Your decision to promise me that if I expended resources in whatever direction you wanted me to, that you would help me, that was bullshit. I don't owe it to you to take your shit. The fact is, I'm homeless. I have no rights. No matter where I go, I'm in the wrong place. I get told I'm in the wrong place. I need to move on, move on, move on. That prevents us from taking our predators to court, from having the resources to take care of ourselves, defend ourselves, feed ourselves. No matter how much people threaten harm against me, or throw things at me, or yell at me, or scream at me, or curse at me, I still am more interested in protecting people's lives than I am in your bullshit and whatever you're pissed off about. I don't want to be a 21st century martyr. I don't want to be some person that everybody follows into war, for certain. When I talk about killing, I try to explain to you guys how much killing it really takes to make a difference. And it's way too much. It's way too expensive in human lives. We got a system that could work if it weren't for the fact that people are afraid of the police, especially the poor. And so the target of the police is most generally the poor. The public see this, and every Karen in America is afraid of homeless persons. They must be afraid that if a man says hello, it means he's a pervert. If he makes eye contact, it means he's a pervert. If he sees your telephone pointing at him weird, he must be a pervert. Do you hear yourselves? I do things a little differently, because somebody has to stick up for people like me. Somebody has to stick up for people like Jamie in the Dalles, Oregon. Somebody has to stick up for them, because these people don't have the ability or the capacity to defend themselves against this kind of burglary, this kind of highway robbery. We need to stop pretending that every woman in America is a victim because they don't get what they want right when they want it. And we need to start looking at the fact that many of the victims of this are male. I'm going to end this video. I got to be afraid of going to the police because they won't do nothing. I got to be afraid of going to the hospital because they'll threaten, harass, intimidate, scream, yell, shout, and shove. It was not appropriate. Out of all of that, the part that's the most important is the physical assault, because everything else, well, there's bias involved. The cameras don't likely show the sound, but they will for certainly show the assault.